So today I'm going to talk a little bit about pirate ships and were they part of the old world. So pirate ships are a very fascinating thing to me. Just the way they're built, the way they operate, all the history that comes with them. They're they're just so intriguing to me, and they seem like they were very, very difficult to build compared to like a steel or fiberglass hulled boat. If I were to bet, I would bet any money that these are much harder to build. So it begs the question, were these just found, or did the people of the time actually build these? There's not a whole lot of reference to who actually built all these ships. I know we build them today. We build replicas of them, but there's only been a few of them found. Not very many of them, so there's just a lot more questions than answers when it comes to these ships. How hard it would be to build a wooden boat of this size. Okay, you have no electrical equipment, you have no electric tools, you have none of that. You gotta do everything by hand, lift everything by hand, move everything by hand. Okay, in the hull of this ship, you have to bend the wood around to the front here. Okay, you have to bend it and you have to pin it in place somehow, and while you're doing all that, you got to make sure it's sealed or you're gonna sink and you're gonna die. So it just seems like it's a very, very hard thing to build for sure. So this is one that was found, the Whydah Galley. The Whydah Galley is significant as it is the only pirate ship that has ever been found. Even more significant is the fact that the Whydah was the flagship of Black Sam Bellamy, a famous pirate captain discovered by Barry Clifford in 1984. After many years of searching, its treasures are still being recovered to this day. More than 200,000 artifacts, including cannons, coins, gold jewelry, and the ship's bell, have been brought to the surface since 2007. A selection of the Whydah's artifacts have been on show in a traveling exposition sponsored by the National Geographic Society, aptly named Real Pirates. The exhibition is incredibly popular. God, I can't read today. But, yeah, so if you see this picture, this is just an incredible ship. I mean, it has multiple stories here in the back. It has like two or three stories here in the front. You got a balcony, two balconies here in the back where you can stand and you can look off. You got all these crow's nests up here. This is a very, very robust form of transportation, it seems like to me. This is just a really cool AI picture somebody made that I ran across that was really fascinating to me. I just love how they got the pirate ship, the birds, the clean water of the time. The water is just pristine as can be. There's not a whole lot of city lights. So when you look up at the sky in the middle of the ocean, you can see all the stars. The moon's gonna be clear as it's ever gonna be. That's just it's very euphoric to me. So this is the Arbella, a historic pirate ship built in 1935, survived the Second World War, and now operating as a cruise bar in Thessaloniki, Greece. Our last day in Greece, we went on it and was able to grab a couple photos. Definitely something cool to do there. So that's really interesting. How they've built them, in the 1900s, just as, I guess, tourist attractions of some sort. But yet again, did they really build it or did they find it? I just feel like these wooden ships are a lot much harder to build than we think, for sure. Another really cool AI picture I ran across. And I would imagine that back then, looking at the sky, because there's not a bunch of light pollution, you'd be able to see like the whole Milky Way, and you'd be able to see everything in the sky, especially in the middle of the water. That's why my goal in my life right now is, to pay back everything I owe to whoever I owe money to. And just after that, I want to get a boat. I just want to get a boat, and I want to live on a boat. A really big boat, though. Like a $200,000-$300,000 yacht. That's what I want to do. For sure. So this was a ship that sunk in Puerto Vallarta, Mexico. The Marigalente pirate ship, an icon on the bay in Puerto Vallarta. I can't pronounce it. Puerto Vallarta. That's how you pronounce it. Puerto Vallarta. For so many years has sunk. We hope everyone on board is safe. I just watched her sail this last week and stopped, took pictures of the fireworks show. It's hard to imagine the bay without her. Yeah, so this sunk in 2025. This was somebody's pirate ship, I believe they had built. So people still build them, and sail around on them today, but they're not nearly as magnificent as like the one I showed you earlier that they found, like washed up on the beach. Like there's not balconies in the back here. There's not all these multiple stories of living spaces here in the back. This ship's not nearly as big as the one I showed you. That was. I'll go back to it. It's not nearly as big as this one right here. This is an absolutely massive ship. Okay? It's really hard to even. So, good example. This crow's nest right here, this kind of this fencing on this crow's nest is the height of a person. So this little like area my cursor is going over is like 6 feet at least. So you can imagine how tall this mast is right here. And this right here, like these railings right here, are at least 5 or 6 feet tall as well. Well, maybe 4 feet. So, you could say these are probably 4 feet tall. But still, like, so a person's like only this tall compared to this whole entire ship. It's an absolutely massive ship. These boats are a lot bigger than people give them credit for. So, all over our realm, there's been a lot of ships that have been found in the desert. And they're just all over the place. You have this one. This is the bomb Jesus that was found. So key details of the bomb Jesus discovery. The location of the wreck was in a dried up lagoon in the Namibian desert, preserved by thick layers of sand over the years. The artifacts, the haul included over 2,000 gold and silver coins, 105 elephant tusks, copper ingots, cannons, and swords. The ship was a Portuguese trading vessel that sailed from Lisbon in 1533, likely wrecked by heavy cargo and bad weather. It is considered the oldest and most valuable shipwreck found off the western coast of sub-Saharan Africa. And like the one thing about this ship too is like it almost looks like to me like a lot of this might have been metal. Like this might have been a metal ship. It could have been wood, but it might have been metal too. It looks like rusted wood. Or not rusted wood, oh my god, rusted metal. I can't even talk today. My bad. It definitely looks like rusted metal up here. And like right here, this fencing you have on the deck, that's definitely metal for sure. You can clearly see that. So looks like a massive metal ship that they had found. This is another picture of it, and you see how big this ship is compared to these people. Like this is an absolutely massive ship. This is another picture of it right here. So, like the people, for instance, the people are only like maybe as tall as my cursor is compared to the side of that ship, probably a little shorter. This is a absolutely massive ship right here. These are other ships that have been found all over the desert. I believe this specific one is in Namibia as well. This is from, I believe this is from another desert. I'm trying to remember exactly which one. It's the, God, what desert is it? All of these pictures are from the same area, by the way. I'm trying to remember what area that was. I'm surprised I didn't write it down. Can you imagine how old this ship is? Like, think about the one, the Bomb Jesus, that's 500 something years old. And think about how it looks. So this one's probably 200 or 300 years old, right here. And don't let the props and the machinery fool you. Our history's been a complete lie. We don't know what they had 100, 200 years ago. Well, honestly, I don't even think we have a rough idea. I think it's that bad. I think it's that fabricated, for sure. Like, look at this one. Look at all the erosion decay on this boat. This boat's been here forever, guys. It's been here a lot longer than we're being told. That's another boat, same area. See, this is a wooden boat right here. This is a wooden ship. That's what a wooden hull would look like out here in the desert. Here's another better picture of a wooden hulled boat. This is a really big boat right here, as well, found in the middle of the desert. You know, as you can see, you can imagine how tall a person would be. You know, probably about as tall as this doorway right here. That's about as tall as a person would be. So this cabin's 2 stories. You know, there's a story and a half down here, probably another 2 stories here. Pretty big boat. You know, just all these shipwrecks together too just makes it even more intriguing and odd. Like they're all right next to each other. Like they all like went ashore at the same time. Like the water just suddenly disappeared from under them. Yeah, they find these wrecks everywhere now. They find them everywhere. So, all as well as, you know, the ship that was found on the shore that I showed you, that pirate ship. We have all the pirate ships that have been found in the desert. And now we're going to look at pirate ships in old maps. So they did depict them in old maps. So, you know, you can see here, you got a ship actually sinking right here. You have the sea monster also depicted. Got a pirate ship here depicted. Got some more pirate ships. I'll move my face a little bit so you can see that one. This ship here even looks like it has a house on top of it. Look at that. You know, pirate ship with a little house on top. It's unique. This is from the 1587 Urbano Monte map. This one is from. You can see you got a ship here. And they're actually oaring this ship with oars. Ship here, ship here. And the ships are all over this map. Here you have another ship. You have a fleet of ships right here. You have ships over here, ships everywhere. And you got all these weird creatures. You know, like, what is this thing? Just half a man. A man with 2, like, snake-like legs. Snake-like hands. You know? It's a very, very odd situation. You have the sun here going around the realm. You have another fleet of ships here. You know. So this is going to be it for part 1. And I'm going to do more research on these pirate ships. Sorry for me not being able to speak today. I don't know what's going on with me, but just having a hard time getting through presentations today. So, anyhow, thanks for watching. If you want any more content like this, go to Radio Free Tartaria at YouTube or at Facebook. Thank you so much for watching, and have a great day, and please like, share, and subscribe. Thank you. Bye-bye.